Hello and welcome again. Welcome back to the stage. Up now is Arnika from Poland, and I'm very, very happy to have you here. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, and I'm very happy to be here today.
Yeah, we are very grateful that you took the time and that you will share your experience and your knowledge with us. The topic is quality is not a department, it's a responsibility. Shift left in team practice. So I'm very curious already, but let me first take some time to introduce you. So you're the president of the Polish Testing Board and a test leader at Volvo Group and a dedicated advocate for quality with deep experience in testing, leadership, and community engagement across software industry. So it sounds like there is a lot of knowledge coming along with you, with all this experience that you bring to the table. So yeah, I can't wait to hear your presentation. So I don't want to let everybody wait for much longer. I just wanted to have another comment about the questions. On no matter where you watch this presentation, if it's like LinkedIn or YouTube, there are always comment sections. So you have the possibility to comment on this presentation and you can ask questions. At the end, we will have a Q&A part where Arnika will answer your questions. So whatever pops up, just put it into the comments and we will answer those questions later. And then one more comment. As you know, and as you might have heard several times now, there is a speaker voting. So you can vote for the speaker that you like the most or the presentation that you like the most. So I hope that you will vote for Arnika. So yeah, I think enough from my side. I think, yeah, it's time for you. The stage is yours, and I wish you a great presentation.
Thank you, Michael, and hello again, everyone. I'm here to talk a bit about shift left, but not in the manner that is usually spoken about. So not the technical part, not the tool part, but maybe a bit, but more the team practice, the mindset and the approach and the people factor in the shift left. Because we can have the best tools, we can have all the procedures in place, we can have like rules and all that stuff, but without people, without their approach, their mindset and the team working together on quality, we cannot have a good shift left. Mike already introduced me a bit. What am I at? I'm over 17 years already in testing. I started when I was studying computer science. So I'm a master of engineering in computer science. So I was always connected with the IT world and started already with the IT. So I work with the quality 17 years already. I always backing up the quality because it's very important in many different approaches. I work with waterfall, I work with agile, I work with the shift left, DevOps and all the approaches. But in all of them, quality is important. And this is why I called myself quality advocate. And I will be talking a lot about quality today. Besides that, the boring stuff, I travel a lot, I sail, and I read a lot of books. And sailing and books go together because when you sail and you have like crossing the sea and have 4 days on the boat, then you have time to read. So that's the perfect combination. But enough about me. Let's go shortly to the agenda. So what I will be talking about. So I start with the introduction because you are maybe not aware where the shift left comes from or what's the approach and where the paradigm about shifting left the quality came from. So a bit about that at the beginning, then about the tester role and more quality assurance role that shifted also to the quality advocacy over the time. And the most part will be, of course, the how to build a culture, because as I said, I will be mostly talking about the people approach, and the mindset than tooling for the shift left. And how to implement that, how to overcome challenges regarding, because as any change, as any approach, it is challenging to introduce something new, and maybe short action plan how you can do that, maybe how you can introduce the shift left, the quality approach in your company, in your team. And of course, then I will be answering your questions. So starting with the history, so what was there, how it changed, and why it changed. So we had the traditional approach. When I was starting 17 years ago, we were mostly working with the traditional waterfall approach. So the quality was at the very end, right? First, you need to plan everything, analyze everything, design, implement everything, and at the very end, you include testers, if any, or just check the quality. It was challenging as the testers were the end stage gatekeepers, and also to keep within the budget. Very often they were not included in the discussion, in the design, in everything else. So they had the testing phase. They test for them to learn about the product, to prepare those tests and everything they want to do, and then test it. And it was the last part. So as you know, very often overlooked, or if we prolong implementation or design phase, we cut the testing, right? It's very often the case, and it was especially the case with the traditional approach. Also, if it comes to the bug detection, it was detection, not prevention. So mostly we were finding something that is already there, that's already implemented, that is already not working in the system. And that's not something we want to have right now. And of course, we have the silos approach, right? So everybody have their role, and that's it. I cannot work at with somebody else. Usually I'm in my silo, I do only my stuff. Because of how users were changing and expecting something else, also the approach changed. So we started with the Agile approach. Agile has more or less, the name itself, it's like 20 something years old. The lightweight approach is a bit older, but still, if we consider that implementing software is over 50 years old, we see that the Agile is pretty newer. So we have the fast-paced cycles, right? We have sprints. We need to deliver after 2 or 3 weeks. We have to deliver something, and it's best if it works and it is in the quality demands, right? Then we have continuous integration, continuous development. We want to deliver fast. We want to deliver often. Because of that, we have something good and very important, which is feedback loops that are often. We don't need to wait, like with the traditional approach. My first software I was working on, it was medical software. And first we got 600 pages of the specification. The good thing was testers already started to design their test cases. There was implementation, right? So testers were evolved a bit earlier, but then we were developing it. We were doing it. After almost a year, we sent the software to our client. And there was a lot of feedback, a lot of changes, a lot of different demands. And this is mostly what's changed and was the best in my opinion about the Agile, that we don't wait half a year. We don't wait a year. We have a feedback earlier, so we can adapt earlier. We don't have to rewrite half the system. We have time to change small parts, because it's small parts that we are showing. And because we are collaborating in the Agile approach and want to deliver fast, We have the cross-functional teams. We are not in the silos anymore. We collaborate. We can take another person responsibility, maybe not tester writing code and doing all that stuff, but we have testers doing review of the code. We have developers writing automated test scripts, right? So we have this interconnection, this cross-functional approach. So in this approach, we cannot delay testing to the very end because we don't have time for that. We need to do it earlier. We have to prevent, not react what's happening. And prevent also in like real life, not only on the paper, because small anecdote here, when at one of my projects a few years back, the Agile approach and this mindset was introduced, and we were told that we need to prevent bugs, not to only react to them, right? We need to do more prevention stuff. And the management back then wanted the change, the approach very fast. So our leaders, team leaders, decided that everything we do regarding defects, regarding like testing, that was previously reported in the time report spreadsheet, right, as a defect reaction, defect. I think it was like reaction or defect something. We should report on the defect prevention, right? So it changed on the paper and only on the paper at the beginning, but then we adjusted and actually did a lot of prevention. So why the change over time from the traditional to the Agile and to more DevOps, DevSecOps, DevTest, SecOps, and shift left and all the approaches that we have right now. One thing, as always, is budget. We are always think about money, and especially project managers and people responsible for the money, right? So they want to spend less money for the defects. And the fixing of the bugs, of the defects, is actually, there were studies how the cost looks like, and it's actually when we fix some defect already when developing, it's a one unit. Then if we find it when it's testing, it's like 10 to 50, something like that, times this 1 unit. And then if defect needs to be fixed when it was already in the production, it's 100 times more. So if it's 100 times more, it's a lot, right? So we want to do it earlier. We want to have earlier prevention, not to spend the money on the fixing in the very last expensive stages. Also, the customers, the users change over time. They are expecting fast information. They expect quality. There is a lot of competition. So if we are not delivering what is expected, they can change. They are for sure the exceptions. Like, I don't know about your country, but everything that is government issued, like the application to do your taxes and all the information about like the laws and all the government stuff, they don't have the competition, right? So what they are giving us, it's not always the best quality, because we can either use the online option or go to the office and talk to the clerks and other people that are not always very nice, right? And it's just easier to do it online. But for the rest, for the most of the software that is delivered, there is competition. So we need to deliver something with the quality and fast, to be faster than our competition. For example, my colleague from the study, he was one of the first that had the idea, at least from the people I knew, to have this online shop, when you order a t-shirts and I think hats with the print you would like. You can send any print and you will get a t-shirt or just a hat with that. I know it's a lot of solutions like that right now, but it was like 2007 or something like that, so not very popular. But he was perfectionist, so he wanted to deliver something that has full functionality. There is no issues, no bugs, no complaints, that everything is working perfectly. So it took him, I think, around 2 years to perfect this solution. But in the meantime, other people also had this idea, right? So it was obvious that even it was not working properly, there were some issues, but it was the solution already. So by the time he delivered his solution, maybe it was better quality, maybe it was like prettier or something, but there were other companies with clients on the market, so it wasn't very successful. So this is why we need to change, right? We have the market demands, we have the client demands, and we want to like save money, not to just pay for fixing all the issues. So because of that, as an answer to these demands, it is where the shift left approach started. It's not something that started like from now on we have this shift left. It was slowly introduced. So slowly over time we were pushing the quality related activities to the earlier stages, not testing at the very end, testing in the meantime, not reporting like the usability, for example, issues when testing, but already checking requirements, checking the prototypes, checking the models that we have before even implementation started. And if it comes to shift left and this whole approach, we have a spectrum, as with almost anything, because as I said, we have different things that we need to consider what can be shift left actually. So I split it here for three different like aspects of the spectrum, starting with the shift left of the testing. So we have the technical part, right? We have the unit testing that is done by developers, also the integration testing, right? So we test before the system test, before the testing with the acceptance testers or the business, right? So we shifted this part of testing. Also, test design and planning. We are not starting as with my first company, right? When we had everything implemented, right? But before that, we have access to the documentation, to the user stories, to the requirements, and we can already start the test design and start planning how we will conduct the testing. And why is it important? Why it works? Because for sure, when doing the test case, right, when writing a test case for a requirement, you may see that actually something is wrong with the requirement. Because, for example, you cannot write a test case for it. So it's not testable, right? And then we also have the automation, right? So like the Holy Grail, and the CI/CD pipelines. So everything is automated. We are integrating and delivering everything like from every few weeks to every few minutes as for like I think Spotify it's deploying the new version like few times a day, right? So it's much faster. But that's the approach if it comes to like the tools and the technical part. Another part of the spectrum is the quality. So testing is the part of quality, but quality is much broader, right? So we already consider the quality in requirements. We are checking the non-functional part, very often overlooked, right? So we are checking the performance if it's already there. the usability, the testability, all the characteristics that can be checked if they are included in the requirements, right? So working with the client, only gathering the requirements, very early stages, we can already think about quality and everything that's related. Reviews, very important stuff. Something called like static testing in the ISTQB world, right? Like reviewing stuff that someone else did, not to criticize them. That's bad approach, but to find if something can be improved, right? Because where the rubber ducky comes from. If you tell something about what you are doing to anyone, even a rubber ducky, you may find issues, right? If someone has the like fresh view, fresh approach, outside approach to what you did, they can have already information. They can see that something can be improved. This is why reviews are important, and also because they can be done on the very early stages. And also when we designing the system, right? When we taking the architectural decisions, we need to have quality in mind, thinking about maintainability, thinking about future changes, how they will influence what we already implementing. So this is also the area when we should have quality in mind. And then we have the third and I would say most important or very important part of the spectrum, which is mindset. Because as I said, we can have the best and most expensive tools. We can have describe the procedures and processes in place, right? But without mindset, we all know how it will work, right? Someone is telling us something to do, we will mark the word, we will fake it. But if we are not into it, probably we will not follow all the procedures, or we can do the tools wrongly. So what's important about the mindset? The first thing is that everybody is responsible for the quality. It's not up to testers, it's not up to quality manager, right? It's up to everyone. So everyone, when doing their work, they need to think about quality. When writing a code, do it with all the rules like solid in place. Write it with comments so someone else can overtake it. When doing test cases, write as someone else can then execute them, right? When doing the documentation, gathering requirements, do it also with the quality in mind, because quality is everyone's responsibility. Then prevention over detection, right? So something I already mentioned, that we invest more time in the practices that will prevent bugs, like the reviews, talking about quality, right? Like checking with the client, not detect it at the very end. And of course, collaborate, right? Not to close ourselves in those silos, in the small parts, but to work together to see different views, different approaches, because then we can have actually better solutions, better outcomes. So what are the benefits of shifting left? At least that's what's said over the internet and in every article that is pricing this approach. So in theory, the benefits will be reducing the costs, right? As I said, if we prevent the defects, find them earlier, it's just cheaper. Faster delivery, because we catch the issues, we don't have such many issues in the later phases. But that's tricky one, because when starting with changing the approach, actually the delivery may be longer at the beginning. If we work with quality in mind, for sure we will give the better user experience, right? Because it will be taken care of during the implementation. And also something that can be there, but not at the beginning, meaning the team satisfaction. if we see that we do not only like put the fires down, right? That we actually do something that has the good outcome, that is quality product, and we work together, we see that we can help each other, the outcome can be much better and satisfaction can be much better. But as with every change, it may be not the best at the beginning. So how in this approach, in all of that, the quality assurance, the testing, the tester's role change over time? So traditional, we were executing test cases, right? That was even though we were called quality assurance specialists, sometimes I was, at some point, we were mostly designing and executing test cases, right? Not taking care about quality in the bigger picture. We were finding the bugs, we were reporting them, sometimes fighting with the developers for them to see our point that is really a bug, not a feature. We were sometimes the only quality gatekeeper at the very end, so our time was limited. Our involvement from the beginning was limited, and we were usually the only ones that were keeping the quality. There was the study checking what was the outcome if we had a team of developers mostly, and then adding testers to that team. What happened with the quality? So you would think that it grew, right? It was better quality. We have testers right now. Not exactly. In many cases, at the very beginning, the quality dropped because the developers said or thought that we have testers right now. We don't have to think about quality, right? We don't have to check if it's working, if like even running what I did, right? Because we have testers now. So it was often that the quality dropped and the testers became the only gatekeepers, right? And in many cases, working in the isolation. The first company was what? There was one room for developers and one room for testers. Now we have open spaces, we work as a team, we work together, but it wasn't like that. So the modern quality, how we should work right now, is that we are advocating the quality, right? We are not doing the only last stage and only focus on that, but we can coach and mentor. We can tell others how to take care of the quality, guide other team members, right? Because we are specialists in quality, so that's our role. Also, when doing risk workshop, right? We have a huge influence in advising and consulting about possible risk related to the quality. We know as a testers, we should know the technical stuff, but also the business context, right? So we know how it will influence our users. And we are sometimes in the middle. We have business analysts that are between business and developers and testers, or translating ones to the others. But then we have testers that are in the middle of the development team and then the users, because we are advocate for the users, right? So we can facilitate the collaboration and bring people together and show them how quality should work. And of course, we should share the knowledge about quality, right? We are going to all those conferences, like this great one, Testing Summit, and another ones. We gather the knowledge, we read articles about quality on LinkedIn, on other pages, right? And then we can bring this knowledge to our team and share it, and this is what we should do. So, as a quality advocate, right? Because that's our role, that's what we can be called in different names. Over my 17 years being quality assurance person, let's say, I had at least 10 different names for my position, but at the end, it was quality advocate, right? A quality specialist, someone who takes care about quality. So what are the key responsibilities, what we should do to have the shift left mindset, to have the quality mindset in everyone in our team? So for sure, education and training, right? So do testing workshop for developers. We know that there is this push that everything should be automated, right? And unfortunately, sometimes the perception is, okay, so developers know how to code, right? They know how to write a code, and automated tests are code, right? So what's the problem? We will take developers and they will be writing the automated tests. Where is the issue here? They don't know testing. I'm not saying every, because I know at least one developer who is like the best tester I know, because that's his approach, and this is how he works. But more often, they don't know testing. They don't know testing approach. When they do test, they're doing happy paths, right? They are not taught to think about the alternative scenarios, the negative scenarios, and all of that we as a testers, as a quality advocates know, right? So it's our role to show them how testing works, right? To share the best practices regarding the quality, writing tests, reviews, and all that stuff. Also provide the guidance, right? For example, work with business analysts, show them the test design techniques, because then it may influence and help them when writing the requirements, when gathering them, because they know what we will be testing, right? And of course, mentor all of the people on the quality practices, which we gather in our work, in the conferences, in the literature that we read. Another responsibility to build the mindset of the quality, to make sure that shift left will be welcomed by everyone, not just something that we need to do again and we need to change our approach again, right? Is the constant process improvement. That was also the idea behind Agile approach, right? That we do something in cycles and we can improve every cycle. We deliver more if it comes to the product, but we also have retrospectives. Retrospectives are not about the product, right? They are about the project and how to improve our work, how to deliver faster, how to make sure quality is there, how to work better. So the Agile approach is the constant improvement approach, right? So the process improvement, it's also what we should advocate for. So identify the quality bottlenecks, right? Where are the issues? Why our quality is dropping or it's not on the level we would like to have it? Suggest the improvements, right? Also for the development, because maybe we read about something. Maybe we have developers that don't know about the solid principles. Maybe they know, maybe they aren't. Make sure that reviews are in there, or like pair programming, pair testing also, right? Also facilitate the retrospective in the focus on the quality, because okay, we can talk about like our approach, but do we think about quality when doing the retrospective? And of course, champion the automation initiative, right? Because automation is tricky, it's challenging, but it's very, very important when talking about quality and shifting everything left. Then we can also be huge part of the risk management, right? As a quality advocate, we need to work. We have even approach like risk-based testing, right? So we need to manage this risk about performing the risk assessment, something that is often omitted, because why do we need talking what could go wrong, right? Let's just do the stuff. But it actually can prevent, and as we said, prevention is important in the shift left approach. The exploratory testing, right? That's something that can cover broad area and find the risk with our application. Also, the coverage, making sure how the application, the software should be covered with the tests, right? Where to put more effort. Remember about the that 20%, the Pareto law, right? That 20% of the application will cause the 80% of issues. So finding it and covering this area with more tests will be also working with the risk, right? And of course, support the production monitoring to know what's going on after we deliver our solution. And also, of course, the cultural change agent. So we have whole another area, right, called change management, and for a reason. Because as I said, everything is changing, so we need to adjust to that, and we need the cultural change, because if only someone will come and say, you need to shift left, this is the workflow, these are the tools, you need to work with that. It will not work, right? We need the cultural, we need the mindset change, and as a testers, as a quality people, we can promote that, we can work on that. How? By promoting the quality first thinking, to always have the quality in mind, celebrating the achievements regarding the quality, for example, like less, more positive feedback, right? Less complaints regarding the quality. Also talk about the misconceptions about quality. Because as one of the fundamental rules of testing said, if the software is working properly, there is no bugs, it doesn't mean that we are fulfilling the expectation of our users, right? And fulfilling their expectations is the quality, not only delivering something with working and without a bugs. And also, what is very important, fostering the safety of reporting issues, to not be angry when someone is wanting to do something different with more quality, not like looking down on them, but actually promote people who think about quality. So how we can build this culture, right? How we can work on that and make sure that everyone knows that they are responsible for the quality. And where the quality lies, right? What are the areas for roles when they can work on the quality, what they can do. For the developers, for sure, the first thing that comes to mind is unit and integration testing, right? So doing the testing for the small parts in the early phases to make sure that is working, right? I mentioned a few times already, but the code reviews, to also check that everything is working and the outcome is okay, the code is written properly. For the business analysts, it will be writing good requirements, right? Good meaning the testable ones, with quality in mind, with the non-functional characteristic also described in the requirements. They have the domain expertise, so they know what is the business expectation, and they can introduce also the ideas about quality there, right? So they can bring this expertise and add quality and explain what is important then. And if we want to fulfill the expectations of our users, we need to think about the acceptance criteria, right, for the acceptance testing. So to work together with testers, with developers about the acceptance criteria, to define them in that way to make sure that the expectations will be fulfilled, right? Then we have product owners that can support us when doing the acceptance test, because they have the access to our users, right? To our clients, so they can bring them when testing to make sure that they are checking the software, not only us. Make decisions and prioritize based on the quality, not only on the demands of the market and what's needed because people are waiting. Of course, that is important, but maybe we need to do something smaller to make our product with the better quality. And for project managers, if we have this role, because we know in Agile it's less of them, they are responsible for allocating resources. So they can give us time and budget for the reviews, for the risk workshops, right? So they actually have the power to give us space for introduction of quality. They can support the activities, the continuous integration activities. They can facilitate all the discussions regarding quality and give us the space to do everything regarding the quality and introduce the shift left approach. And something I mentioned, but it's also very important, so the psychological safety, right? As a tester, but as everyone, we should not fear that someone will be angry with us when we ask questions, when we would like to we have concerns regarding quality or anything, right? So we should encourage the open discussion of the quality concerns, like create the norms, create the forum where we are safe to discuss that. If something fails, right, either working or with the product, is learning opportunity. So do not see failure as something bad, something we should, I don't know, take bonus from the person or put them for the people viewing and bash them. No, just okay, we did something wrong, how can we improve that, right? It's much better approach. And if something was improved, let's promote that, let's recognize and reward that, right? Let's be happy together about that. And also have place to experiment with all the new practices, right? To have time to adjust to the changes. How can we also communicate regarding the quality? How can we share that where the quality is, right? We can have regular meetings discussing only the quality related things. It's good to have dashboards because that's something visual, right? Something visible that's everybody can check at any given time. Have the cross-team knowledge sharing sessions, so cooperate on the quality, cooperate on the ideas, have brainstorming sessions, right? What can we do better? And of course, celebrations. I'm repeating it a few times already about the celebration, but actually that's something also in the change management approach, right? For example, in the ADKAR model, we have the awareness, we have the desire to have the change, right? We are giving the knowledge. I forgot the fourth one. Action, I think. So we are doing the change, but the so the last one is reinforcement. Because if we change and do not reflect on it, right? We do not say, okay, this change had this outcome. This was good, this was bad. This is what can we improve, right? We do not price, do not reinforce the change. It will not stick. We need to reinforce the change. We need to make sure that people know what was the outcome of their actions, right? This is why I'm talking about this promotion and celebrating the positive, the quality, successful outcomes. So okay, right? We know what as a testers, as a quality assurance people, we should do, right? How we can promote this approach, how to help setting the mindset for the focus on the quality and trying to shift left everything. But for sure, we will have challenges, right? There are always challenges, and what can we do with them, right? How can we work with things that can be obstacles in our way to the better quality and to better to shifting more left our approach. So the always things that always be there, the resistance to change, right? Change is constant, but people don't like to change. Like they have they're saying that we are working this way, long time it's working, why change it, right? It's not my job, it's working fine, we don't want to change it, we need to deliver features, not write tests, let's stick to what we have right now, right? What can we do, how we can change their mindset? For sure, starting small, right? Because if we want to change like immediately, want to have this great change, to have completely different workflow, we won't see the outcome, like the wins in the short run. So start small, introduce small changes, start with the reviews, start with some static testing, start with like very small things to see the outcome, right? Then if we have proper metrics, not always the case, we can demonstrate the return on investment, right? We can show exactly what can be done with it and what is the outcome, right? And lead by example, show the success. We can have technical constraints. That's not always up to tester if it comes to especially the budget for the technical changes, but we can invest in the training, we can evaluate the tools, maybe change them, those that we already have for different, and we can also improve our processes in that. We can have the organizational barriers, right? So we have the siloed team, we have conflicting priorities, we have resource constraints. So we can start with formation of the cross-functional team, like the gradual transformation and business case development, showing that the change will be good. So how your action plan can look like, right? In the very short, very generic way, we should set up the foundation, right? So identify advocates, establish baseline, create the initial train planning, so set some foundations for the shift. Then educate people, right? Do the trainings, establish quality gates, begin like quality discussion, do some education to share the knowledge about everything, right? Then we integrate quality and the shift left approach in our daily work. We have ways to measure it. We are implementing quality dashboard. We are implementing and embedding quality in all the phases of our testing. And that's not the end, right? There is no last end. Always we can do something better. So we have the optimization phase when we can improve, and improve over time, right? And to sustain, to reinforce our change. How can we start? With a simple checklist, right? So find a quality advocate, it's you, right? Choose a pilot team or a project, start small, define the success criteria, because we need to know what will be the criteria, when we can, how we can show, when we can say that, okay, it's a success, right? Secure the management support, very important. Plan trainings, plan sharing knowledge, set up the automation tools, and schedule the progress review. Small steps that we can have at the beginning of our journey toward quality, toward shifting left. To sum everything up, because I'm told we should finish. As I said many times, quality is everyone's responsibility, and we do share this mindset, share this approach to everyone. Shift left meaning not only using tools, but moving quality earlier, not only testing, but quality to the earlier phases. Quality advocate, so some probably testers, need to coach, educate, and facilitate, not just test. Shift left and any change is a cultural change, not only like technical one. We should start small and build the momentum over time. We really need to measure the progress and communicate the outcomes, and we need to improve constantly, not only like, okay, it's done, we are here, and that's everything. And that was exactly 50 minutes. of my presentation. You have my contact here, and now if we have any question, we can go to them. I cannot hear you, Michael. You are muted.
Okay, now. Okay, thank you so much, Arnika. Unfortunately, there's no time left for questions, but I didn't want to interrupt you because I think it was a very valuable and very interesting presentation. So therefore, I just wanted to hear it all the way to the end. So thank you so much for your insights and all the knowledge. Unfortunately, we're very tight on time.
I can go to YouTube and LinkedIn, and maybe when there are comments, I can answer them.
That's true. Like, I mean, you mentioned your contact information.
Yeah.
I will put it on screen again so people can see how they can contact you. I think you're linked from the Summit website.
Yes.
There's a link to your LinkedIn profile, so people can text you there. And if there's anything that is coming afterwards, we will forward it to you. So yeah, thank you so much again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And for the presentation. Yeah, you're very welcome. We're very grateful that you joined us. And now everybody who's watching, have a great rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the summit. And don't forget to vote. So yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Bye.